Okay, good.
So
Good.
let's just talk about kind of like where you started, some of your thoughts and joining the program, and we'll just kind of capture where we've gotten thus far.
Absolutely. So I actually came across an ad on
Mhm.
Facebook. And at the time, I knew I was a coach. It was certain things you were saying that was speaking directly to me, which was imposter syndrome. I had been coaching for a little while, but not monetizing it, wasn't very clear on who I was supposed to be speaking to, and just needed some help. Like I knew that I needed to be coached. So when I signed up, I didn't have the back end. One thing I believe you presented to me was clarity.
Mhm.
Like I became so clear on just who I am as a coach. Who do I coach, as far as service wise? I got clear on the business side of having my back end done, like not realizing I didn't have real systems in place. Being clear on even the anti-webinar, like just every component of this program. I'm so happy that I honestly just kind of took a step back this year and just said, I'm just going to trust the process. Like, didn't focus on making money. I was like, okay, baby, look, I ain't going to be doing no masterclass because everything is rebranding. So I really just focused on getting clear. And because I was patient, I started seeing the payoff. Like I knew it was going to pay off. The 90-day sprint that we did at the beginning. And then by May, I started having my first, I was like, oh, let's ideas on how I can bring in offers. And it just all came together, coach. Like this has been an amazing, like absolutely amazing experience from beginning to end. Like I just am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that I saw you and that I just took the leap, because I remember being in Jamaica and was like, I'm doing this for me. This is my Christmas gift to myself. I have to invest. Let's do it. And I didn't care what it costs. I was going to get resourceful and I was like, let's make it happen. So I'm just so grateful for the clarity, because I swear the clarity has gotten me so much further in 1 year than I've been doing this for how many years now,
Yeah.
So that's my real, I was unclear of who I was, and I've gotten clarity now.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear that. And I want to talk a little bit about your process of like setting up all the systems, because I feel like you in particular, like you really jumped in and, really made an effort to like learn as you were going so that you wouldn't have to rely on, okay, I need somebody always to do this stuff for me. So can you talk about that? Because everyone's not tech savvy. Everyone's not, excited to jump into a new software and like start figuring things out. And so what was that process like for you, and how did you kind of overcome that?
Yeah, well, one, I was using a different system. I was using the Sato, and that was very user friendly. I had gotten very comfortable with that. And my whole thing was, if you come in and tell me this is what I'm doing and this is what works, okay, you show me. Like I just gotten to the point where I'm coachable. Like if you say, I want you to use this system, okay, fine. I'm going to use this system and learn it. So I took it with a grain of salt. Like I came in and was like, okay, what's this? When I first saw the dashboard, I was like, oh Lord, all these little pieces and parts into it. But I just took it one day at a time. And you are so accessible and such an amazing coach. There was never one point where I was like, okay, I give up. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Any questions I had, I could ask, and I got the answer right away. A lot of it you did for us. But I knew that there's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to say, okay, LB, I cut the umbilical cord. And I wanted to make sure I wasn't just out here like, what I'm supposed to do. So I was very adamant and intentional about learning. And I love the dashboard. I love it. I love all of the pieces and the features. So for me, it was the mindset of, this is what I need to do to be successful. Like I keep going back to, what do you want?
Yeah.
You say you want a thriving business, you want a thriving and lucrative business, then we have to put the business parts together. And one thing I realized, I just took a DISC assessment and I scored very high in the I, go figure, right? One thing I realized is that I'm so focused on being on and being like the performer that my back end gets, I lack attention there. So a lot of things I had to do was get my back end in order for me to succeed. And it has been, again, that clarity that I've gotten. So it was all about me just really focusing on doing what I need to do to make sure this worked for me.
And so, all right, so you got your systems, you mentioned earlier that you kind of basically took the 12 months to really focus in. And I know that's difficult for some people to take the leap. Like some people are just getting started where, they don't have much going on, but you already had a coaching business that was running. You were already selling clients into your intensive, right? And so, you were at that point where that was a big decision to say, all right, I'm going to just take a step back and really put systems in place. So I want to talk a little bit more about your journey because like I said, at first you thought you were going to start selling the intensive right away when we had, the webinar, the 90-day sprint, and then you took a step back. So can you tell us like what your full kind of value ladder and funnel looks like now and talk about that journey?
Oh my goodness, what it looks like now. So I was doing my intensive before we met, and I knew that there were some missing parts. It wasn't a smooth, like well-oiled machine. And so when I took a step back, it was to say, I want to make sure when I do present myself as LB, the wife coach, that everything is in order. And so I had to start with the anti-webinar, really, again, getting clear. And more that I got clear on who I was talking to, I was like, wow, okay, this needs to change in my program. Like, I need to make sure I'm speaking directly to this because I was so general and I was able to niche down, as we say, right? And I'm like, okay, I get it. All married women aren't wives. I'm talking to the married woman. So it was just getting that clarity in the beginning. My funnel now, it looks like, okay, one, I had it set up, but it's set up so much better. So when women actually enroll in my intensive, it's from the welcome letter that's coming to them. Like, I'm hands off. And it's like, I had to be so hands on at first, which it seemed like it was a lot, but I'm now hands off to where if someone signs up, it's all working. Like they're getting the notifications, they're getting the emails. I'm knowing they're paying, because I'm getting the notification myself, but that has helped me. The funnel, which is still growing and still building out. The first funnel I believe we built was for I guess it was for the intensive.
So we started with the enroll piece to get everything working with that. And then you discovered along the way some different lower ticket products. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So that's the thing, like the clarity. Like, how else can I serve? Because all I came to you with the intensive. That's all I had. I'm like, I don't know what else to offer. I don't think I can offer anything else. What else can I do? And I just started our mindset calls, our weekly calls. I just really tuned in, coach, and just said, okay, what else can I do to serve these ladies? The mini lessons came up. I did my first mini lesson in May. So I had been in the program almost 5 months before I even thought of how could I create some income. So I started with the mini lessons, and then we had our what was it that you did this summer for
passive income summer school?
Passive income. So again, just constantly feeding myself with that and hearing your voice and just helping me to say, okay, how can I serve them? So I came up with my mini lessons. Then we had a session or one of our calls, and you were like, okay, this is a no-brainer time of the year. You need to come up with a no-brainer coaching program. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the hot seat because I'm going to come up with something. And look what I came up with.
Be His It Girl Boot Camp.
It is, coach, it's like the best offer ever. Like, they are really, the ladies love it. I'm excited about it. And that's one thing I love too. You were like, what is it that makes you happy to do? I'm like, yeah, what is that? I'm like, be His It Girl. You were like, well, do that. Come up with something. You're like, figure it out, of course. A webinar, something. And I was like, okay. And I literally that night, coach, came up with a boot camp, created the landing page. And all of this is because I've been working in the dashboard, and it was like not very hard. It was a lot of things that I had to do as far as checklist wise, but trust me, within that next month, I was ready to launch my first boot camp. And now I've had 2. So not just the boot camp, now I'm doing more speaking engagements. It's just the clarity, coach. I can't stress that enough because I always say clarity saves, confusion costs. So
I like that.
I always say that, coach. Like, that's what it's all about. And I was very confused before I met you.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm super excited. So I know kind of moving forward, some of the next steps for you are start building out your team. Like, you're at that level where you're basically like that, CEO, time to build out the team and time to really put people in place. So kind of talking about the dashboard, your systems, and like all your products, like, what do you feel like you can do now as far as, all right, now it's time to take it to the next level? Like, where do you feel like your future lies, basically?
Wow, I definitely see myself stepping into my CEO role. One thing that I was realizing, I was working so hard in my business that I couldn't work on my business. I was everything. I was the administrator. And I still am, but I have gotten so clear on each role that I've created my SOPs, and I'm able to now delegate. So that's one of the areas of the I and the DISC that is kind of like our areas of improvement, being able to delegate. I'm so used to doing things by myself, being the solopreneur. I don't want to be her no more. I really want to sit in my zone of genius and be on. But I also want to know how my business runs. So I feel very confident sitting as the CEO and being able to now go through the hiring process, another thing that you have allowed us to do or taught us how to do, and bring on a team that can help support me as I grow as the wife coach and become like the go-to wife coach. I am the one, the buck stops at me. So I'm just really, really confident being able to sit in this position.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. And I know right now we're doing your success call like right before your launch. So we talked about that a little bit earlier. And so I want to do a catch up because like I said, with your process, you essentially started, you put that low ticket offer in, you have your, mid-range, be a Zit Girl boot camp, and then you've got your high ticket, which is the intensive, and that's launching in a couple of days. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little quick short catch up at that point, once the launch comes, and pull everything back together. But, even before getting to that point, like there's so much that you've accomplished over the past 12 months. I'm really proud of you. It's been great being a part of your journey, and I wish you nothing but the best, and look forward to your continued success.
Thank you, Coach. Oh, it has been, no, that's why I was like, I hope the success call is not just about money, because I have gained so much more. Like I know how to yield money in my life now, how to, my energy. It's been amazing, Coach. Like you need to charge more for this. I mean, I don't know if that needs to be on here, but I'm just saying, Coach, I'm like, I don't know how you do this for 12 months. But for that, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you. I don't know if that was the introduction price, but listen, this is right here. You can charge big bucks for this. Yeah, this is awesome.
We're going to be stepping it up just a little bit, but for the next couple of months, we're going to really try to bring in some additional students and create some more success before we step it up. So
absolutely,
I appreciate your vote of confidence. Good stuff.